Hello and welcome to Wooden or Watch You Don't Need, the channel about watches and other things that you don't really need, but it's nice to have and play with. Today we're going to talk about the Citizen watch that is inside this box. This is the internal box. Just let me put it here. The outer box is this bigger one. It's just a plain cardboard box, whereas the inside box is a more sophisticated cardboard box. But it's nice to see that if we turn it, and I bought this in Italy, it says per favore riciclare, so please recycle. What's more interesting, it says proudly made with recyclable paper and please recycle. So let's open the box and see the watch.
This is not an unboxing because I've already worn the watch a couple of days.
Ta-da, and here is the watch in all its beauty, if I may say. And let's have a look at it. It is an aviator style watch. It has elements of the Fliege watches, of course. It has a black dial, or actually it is more of a dark gray matte dial. It is an EcoDrive movement, so the movement is the proprietary Citizen movement, which is powered by not only the light of the sun, but any other kind of artificial light. Now let's have a look at the features of the dial. We have Arabic numeral numbers all around the dial, apart from the 6 and 12 position. In the 12th position we have this typical aviator style marking, the two dots that we will have a chance to see later on when we'll have a look at the lume of this watch, which is quite nice if I may say so. We have 3 subdials, 1, 2 and 3, plus the date window. We only have the date window, no day of the week. The lower subdial here at 6 hours tells us the passing of the seconds. This subdial here on the 9-hour position is a 24-hour subdial, and if I have to quote from an Italian channel of watches reviews, this tells you how long you still have to go in your poopy day. That Italian channel does not use the adjective poopy exactly, but you get what I mean. The upper subdial is the chronograph subdial, and it tells you the passing of the minutes. So this is actually a chronograph aviator type watch. In fact, we can see that it has 1 and 2 pushers here. The top one is for starting and stopping the chronometer, and the bottom one is for resetting it. The crown is a simple push-pull crown, and in perfect aviator style it's quite big in order to be easy to pull or push back, and it has a useful knurling that lets you twist it easily when it's pulled out. Let's have a look at the case. All the watch is in brushed finish apart from this outer part of the bezel, and this creates a nice pattern of brushed and mirror finished, which I find aesthetically pleasing. Let's turn the watch. This is the clasp. It is a quite simple clasp, but during the time that I've worn this watch it has never failed me. It looks quite solid. It has 2 buttons on the sides, so you open it and then you close it quite easily and comfortably. So once again, it is simple, but it looks and feels sturdy. The bracelet. Although the bracelet might look as it is in solid stainless steel, it is not. It is folded steel, as we can see if we turn the bracelet this way, and we can see that it is folded steel. But it is folded quite well, so it gives you the appearance of being well made. And if you really do not look closely, you will never know that it's folded steel and not solid steel. The bracelet has already been fit to my Disney Princess 6.5-inch wrist. In centimeters, this is 16.5 centimeters. And let's have a look at the pushers. The pushers are quite easy to use. When you push the start-stop, you can hear a click. The seconds start running. Then when you're finished timing, you stop. You don't hear a click when you stop, and then you reset it with the bottom pusher. like this. Fairly easy. You have a chronometer for up to 60 minutes with the seconds here. Another thing which is quite useful is all these markings around the bezel. Now, I got this watch as a present and I was not sure what those markings on the bezel were. Actually, I knew what they were. They are angle degrees and I was not sure if they had any use. Well, actually they do, because if you time something, the chronometer, you will see that the chronometer is accurate to 1/20th of a second. So for every second, it will move 5 times. So if you look at the outer part of the dial, you will know the time of the event that you measured with an accuracy which is bigger than just 1 whole second. You can actually have an idea of the fractions of seconds that you've timed by looking at the markings on the outer part of the dial. The first time that I saw the watch, I thought it had an internal moving bezel, like, for example, on the Citizen Skyhawk. It's not like that. The internal bezel is fixed, and I thought, okay, then the outer bezel and the markings on the outer bezel must be only decorative, but it's not like that. And I'm actually bothered by decorative only elements of a watch. I like a watch to be useful in every way, and on a following video, if you're interested, I can give you a demonstration on how to use the, let's call it, compass function of this watch. With the Boy Scout trick to tell you where north is, these markings on the outer bezel will be quite useful. So let's have one more look at the watch. As I said, it's an EcoDrive movement, so it's a quartz movement powered by the light of the sun or any other artificial light. The construction of this watch is entirely stainless steel, dark gray matte dial or a black dial. And the only thing that I must admit I don't like a lot about this watch is that the date window is not that legible. So you have a white number on a black background, and unless you are in a very well lit environment, it'll be quite hard to see the number of the date. It's a small number and it's not that legible. There's no lens, as you can see. So yeah, this might be the only thing that I don't like about this watch. The overall appearance, in my opinion, is very pleasing aesthetically. It has that aviator watch look to it, which I quite like. Let's get some measurements now. The case is listed at 43 mil. Let's have a look at it and see if it's true. Yeah, it says 42.8, so we can say that it's 43 mil, a bit less, just a hair less. With the crown, it sits at 46.7. Now, the very, very important measurement, which is that of the lug-to-lug distance. So let's grab the watch this way. And let's get the lug-to-lug like this. Lug-to-lug of, here it says 49.6, so just a bit shy of 50 mil, which is a nice short lug-to-lug for a watch with a 43 mil diameter. Now, if you have a Disney Princess small wrist, just like mine, let me remind you that my wrist is 16.5 centimeters or 6.5 inches. This watch will look like this on your wrist. And here you have it. You can see that it is quite big because there is a lot of dial, but the lugs actually do not go past my wrist, so it looks big but not huge or humongous. The thickness is 12.6 mil. The crystal is a mineral crystal, it's not a sapphire crystal. All in all, the watch is 100 meter water resistant, as you can see from the markings on the back. It says water resistant 10 bar. Japan movement. It's probably cased in China. Japan movement. And once more you can see that the finish is a very nice brushed finish. I like the brush finished. I actually prefer it to the mirror finish. The contrast here between brushed and mirror is quite pleasing to the eye. The Lume, we haven't spoken about the Lume. So for comparison, you can have a look at the Casio Duro or Casio Marlin. Casio Marlin is a 44 mil case diameter, although it has the bezel, the rotating bezel that takes up a bit of space. And of course the Citizen having a bigger dial will look a bit bigger on your wrist, but still they are both watches that you can wear even if you have small wrists like mine. Now let's take another watch. This is an oldish Tissot from the mid-90s. This is a smaller watch as you can see, but let's have a look at the Lume. Let's switch the lights off. So here you can see that the Citizen has a great luminescence. It's clearly visible. I like the very big Arabic numerals so that you can see the hour and the minute quite clearly. You can also see here at 9 hours that we are at the middle of the day, so you're not in the PM. So we've just ventured in the PM. The Casio Duro on the left is known for not having a good lume. In fact, it's barely visible. The Tissot with its 30-year-old lume still holds quite strong, but the Citizen trumps them all. So a great lume. I particularly like the Aviator style signs at the 12 o'clock marking. So the Citizen Aviator style reference CA0790-83E is a really nice looking watch. It fits small wrists like mine quite well. It feels and looks solid. It has some very nice function, and above all it has a very pleasing aesthetic aspect. You don't need this watch if you already own another watch, but of course, unsigned crown, simple push, pull crown, clasp. It says Citizen, stainless steel. And stainless steel is a very nice material. If you like a watch that feels heavy on the wrist, I forgot to mention the weight, which I will put somewhere here. If you like to feel the presence of a watch on the wrist, well, this is a piece for you. It's not too heavy, but you can definitely feel it. I like the side view of the bracelet. Like the side view of the watch, maybe one more wrist shot. This last view.